The cleanup of ice and snow continues as another round of extreme cold returns to Maryland. Hello, I'm Casey Baylor and welcome to WJZ News at noon. Sub-freezing temperatures are prolonging icy conditions. Outside right now, it's sunny, clear, but also unusually cold. Wind chills will only climb until the lower to middle teens. We have Marty Bass in the First Alert Weather Center tracking this off for you, and we know more frigid conditions on the way, Marty.
Frigid may be too warm of a description. Casey, love working with you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Let's go back to that shot of the Inner Harbor. I want to point something out. The bay, if you just move here, it's brackish water. It's not necessarily totally salt water, but it's not fresh either. But if you get brackish water to freeze, you get salt water to freeze. It is cold, folks. You are looking at extreme conditions, and the visual is right there in that brackish water that is frozen. As we move through the afternoon, temperatures will peak out, like 23 degrees. We are going to see a few clouds move our way, and I'll address that in just a second. But here's what it actually feels like as we move through the afternoon. At least when the sun is out, we're getting a little bit of an evaporational melt. At least it feels a little good on your face. But once we get into some clouds later on, it's just going to be, really uncomfortable. Okay, so we're coming out of this bitter cold morning. Look at that. And that will become the headline here in a second. Afternoon flurries possible? Yep. 24 is going to feel like 12. We'll talk about where those flurries are coming from and how it may impact your corner coming up shortly. Casey, over to you.
All right, let's send things over to Marty Bass with weather and the frigid temps that we're seeing out here today.
23 degrees in the Outback, but ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't tell you the story. It feels more like 12. Good afternoon. It's 15 after the hour. Let me go ahead and show you what we're watching for you. And then it's no surprise. I started talking to you last week about this. It's the cold. Look, I know the snow got everybody's attention, as darn well it should have. And I want to give a personal shout out to First Alert meteorologist Steve Sosna. Sosna nailed this one. His numbers never flinched as we moved through the week's end and weekend. Not only the snow numbers, but now these cold numbers. The worst of dangerous cold isn't even here yet. It's coming later on in the week. And there is a potential weekend storm. Right now, the computer modeling is all over the place. So I'm not going to really obsess on that. We're only going to be talking about the cold. Look at it. That 23 feels like 14. Look how dry it is. Big, dry Canadian air mass. This is polar air, folks. 39% humidity. Barometer is at 3013. It's high. There's that big Canadian high. And that slight west-southwest breeze at 8 is making all the difference in the world. And once again, it's a slight breeze in the area. But I'm going to show you something really cool. Here are the wind gusts. Notice where there are no wind gusts. This is going to play into our next display. But just look. It's right along the northern tier counties from west east where we're seeing the 8 go like to 16 in Bel Air, Moncton, and 18, all right? Now, let me go ahead and show you the feels like temperatures. This is really interesting. Here's where we are seeing that slight gust in the area. Reisterstown at 9, Finksburg at 10, Fallston at 11, Cockeysville at 12, 13 in Abingdon, but now you get down out of those wind gusts. Curtis Bay feels like 14, 16 Elkridge, 17 Severn. You get the idea. That slight breeze at this point is making all the difference in the world. And we're looking at near record, and I'm just not talking about your average basic record. I'm talking about a record that could stand for years and years and years. It's going to be this weekend cold moving our way. Now, here's the radar, and you can see the wind directional arrows. We're talking some clouds later and maybe a few flurries. Well, here's where the flurry is going to be coming from. It's this lake effect coming off of the eastern Great Lakes. So it's not like, Snowmageddon's happening again. But nonetheless, we're going to move that warming sun, and we are indeed going to see a few flurries meandering around the area. Now, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. 22 and 9 tomorrow after today's 24 and 7. What we really want to talk about is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Look at the future cast. Look at the numbers. The feels like temperatures Thursday morning. -6. Look at this. -10. I mean, this is legit stuff, but it's not over yet. Friday, it is going to happen again with an apparent 18-degree high. Look at what the numbers are going to be Friday morning at 7 a.m. So once again, don't go thinking that this is the reality. 19, 18, and then 19 degrees again Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's going to feel that much colder. Okay, what I want to do is take a look again at the 7-day forecast. And when you look at the big picture, those alert days just stand out like a sore thumb. Forget the red. But look at that, 24, 22, 28, 32, and in the middle, bang. And look at those overnight numbers. I mean, it's just crazy. But, you know, at least the days are getting longer. I always look for a positive.
Yeah.
First off, it's the end of January. Is this going to be our last snow? Nope. And look at the days getting longer.
Okay, we're gonna hold on to that positive.